So the Prey demo came out about a week ago, and I played a lot of it, roughly 7 hours. Two, I'm gonna say, complete playthroughs of this starting area and then this follow-up area. Something just clicked up there, and I loved it. Now I don't know why nothing displays on the screen at this point after it goes black. Oh, it's going. So I played a lot of it, and even on my second playthrough of that demo, I found new things in this area. I found, oh, if I jumped on these pipes, I could access this other room. And the same remains true for this. I've played about 6 hours of Prey today, which is absurd. And I love it. And, you know, the first 3 hours of that, we're going through and really, with a fine-tooth comb, looking at the previous areas in the game and exploring them and seeing everything that was to be there. And you know what strikes me so much about Prey is how BioShock it is, but how the promise of BioShock is fully realized here. And what I mean by that is the beginning of BioShock is like, oh, you have a wrench and you're fighting one guy, and then you go into the one bar where there was a party and there's people in the water, and they're like, oh, what do I do? I'm slowly crouched around and being stealthy. And then a couple hours later, you're fighting turrets, you're hacking turrets, there's splicers throwing bombs and stuff. Like, it just gets a little out of control and still very good, but just not quite the same. And so far for these first 6 hours, Prey has maintained that slow, methodical pace. And if you don't like that pace, then you're not really probably going to like this, but it's that crazy slow pace of one day, well, what's around this corner? What's over here? Let me look at this bench. Let me look up the ceiling and find, like, you're looking at scaffolding and trying to climb through, like, every single section of this game. I'm so impressed at how many different hidden passageways or optional routes there are. Oh, I can hack this door, or I can find the key card, or if I climb around, I can get into it from the ceiling from this weird entrance, or there's a secret route of a maintenance tunnel that just loops over here, and the loot loop of finding all these things. The fact that you can go into a recycler and recycle all these materials and then craft via those materials is such a fun thing to me. I love finding all these little clues, looking at something in the distance and trying to understand, like, can I get there? Or let me use the glue gun, which just creates these like white blobs of things. Let me use that weapon to climb up over there. Like, I just did this one section, which was outside the demo, where there's like it's a open area. It's like a 2-floor area that's pretty open. And there's a second floor to it. And there's a second floor like balcony on the other side you can't get to. Now there's a number of ways you can get there, right? You can hack your way through the door. You can find the key code or the passcode to get in. Or you can use the glue gun to just walk over there. And it seems so stupid to like keep harping on that diversity of play styles, I guess. But it's so true. And it's with every single part of the game, it feels like every single thing is like, oh, if I had this ability, I could lift this out of the way, but I don't. So what if I climb over here, or what if I throw this thing, and what if I use the glue gun to make a path for myself to clear this other way? Like, oh, I can repair this, so then I can just walk through this door normally. Like, oh, but I don't have the repair ability, so what if I just travel this other way? And it just, so many rooms are set up like that. It is just constantly. And this was my third time going through the first area of the game, and I was finding new stuff. Enemies are still in different positions each time. Like, at my first time playing the game, I guess I got lucky where I didn't get attacked by any more than 2 mimics at a time, but the next 2 times, there's this one section that was safe. The first time I played it, just totally safe, nothing was there. And I walk into it, and it's like stepping on a spider egg. 4 mimics just pop up out of nowhere, and the chairs are flying because they knocked him over, and the physics is reacting to it, and I'm slowing down time with the one power I have to like try and shoot them, And that surprise, oh shit moment that this does have as a horror game works so well, and it has maintained itself even with that simple enemy type. The one enemy type. There are others, but that one, it still has suspense. It still has you going into each room like, oh, I haven't seen one in a while. Maybe there's one in here. Or why are there 3 chairs at this table that seems like it's for 2 chairs? And like the satisfaction of zapping a chair that was a mimic is there, and it's fantastic. And it works. It works together with all these other systems too. So in the same ways you can like traverse the world in all these different ways, you can use your abilities. Like I can build out my wrench here to be powerful with the wrench, or I can build up my stealth, or I can build out guns, right? What are those things called? Guns. Or I can pick up a turret and just move it around the map and put it in front of things. Like I'm pretty sure there's a mimic here. If I put this turret here and I can kind of flush it out, and the turret will kill it. And you can do that. And there are other big enemies to fight that don't feel like the big daddies in BioShock. They're scary in the same way and something you kind of want to avoid in the same way. But they don't take as much hits. They're not like a boss encounter. They're just something you want to avoid. Something you see and you go, okay, if I throw this and I slow down time, I should be able to get those shots off. And that goes back into scrounging around for ammo or for materials to turn into goop that you then take out of the goop machine and use to make more ammo. And like, I'm gathering so much shit, and it's so much fun to find all this stuff and to keep exploring. Like, if the moment to moment of BioShock was just slowed down and was constantly kind of quiet, like it's not audio logs all the time. It's not, oh, I'm Adam or whatever his name, not Adam. Atlas. Adam. That's the platinum, whatever. Atlas. And I'm on the phone with you, talking to you this whole time. It's not that. It's like this one person talking to you every so often, and you're just left to explore. And these places, it's not like they're giant areas, right? And it feels so like this feels exactly like a space station. It doesn't feel like a level. It's just a place. And now I'm wandering around and seeing where these people died and how they died, and like, oh, is there something in the room that might have killed them? And I'm reading their emails and I'm learning all about these things that just makes me feel in the world. And I love that. I mean, I played this demo and I was blown away. Like, I was interested in Prey from that get-go, from that original trailer. But when I played it, I knew this was something special. And I really think reviews haven't started hitting yet as of this moment when I'm saying this. A few have, maybe. Like, I don't know how long this game is. I don't know really what's going on. I just hit a point narratively where there was somewhat of a reveal, and then there was like a counter reveal that just happened. I don't even know what that means. And the plot is thickening in ways that are pretty interesting. And I still don't have, I only have one ability, like one, I guess you'd say like special ability, which is to slow down time for about 10 seconds. And that gives you increased damage and reduced stamina consumption. And that works really well, but I know there are others. I know there are many, many, many other abilities. And speaking of that, the neuromods that you use to level up, there's this skill tree. It's so rare for me to say this. In fact, it like probably doesn't happen very often at all. The vast majority of the skill tree is great. You know, it's interesting. It's something compelling. It's like, oh, I can level up my health. And by the end of that skill tree, which is like 4 nodes to get all the health upgrades, I'll have tripled my health, which is a vast improvement, right? Or I'll increase my inventory space and give me suit modification spots. There's so many little, and stealth, melee damage, gun damage, repairing things, weapon modification. It's all in this skill tree, and it's so much of like a min-max. Right now, I'm kind of spread thin. Like, I want to throw heavy objects. I want to hack machines. I want to do this other thing. I want to expand my inventory space, which does become a problem when you're a hoarder like me, just picking up every goddamn thing. And I love the choice of it all. There's so many just weird choices. Like, I'm going into an area that the game isn't telling me to go, but I can go there. And And I open this door. I'm like, oh, I happen to have the passcode for this. I'm going to go over here. Open it with the passcode, and the door opens into darkness. And I'm just like, oh shit. I turn on my flashlight, like, I don't want to go here. Because this game, it can get scary. And this is exactly, it's so, to circle back to BioShock, this is what I wanted from BioShock. I wanted that slow, methodical, suspenseful feeling the entire time. And instead, it becomes like, oh, I got a minigun. Oh, I got this. I got that. Like, played 6 hours of the game. I got a wrench. I have a pistol. I have a shotgun. And I try not to use the shotgun or the pistol too often, unless it's the big guys. Everything else gets the wrench. I have a bunch of grenades, which are something I'm like trying to hoard. And then everything else I have is kind of not lethal. Like I have a stun gun. That's not that helpful. I have a dart gun. Literally not helpful for combat. Which also I haven't found a good use for it as of yet. But it keeps adding. That's the thing too. Is like, I feel like this game is a lot longer than I think people are expecting, since I played about 6 hours of it. And I've done all the stuff that was in the demo and the area past it and a little bit more. It keeps adding new things. So I got to this point where, oh, now I have a jetpack on my suit. And so I go out into zero grav around the satellite that you're on. And it's this bizarre. And I never played Adrift or any of those spacey games that came out recently. But it was just this weird feeling. Oh, I'm in space, floating around. Like, oh, there's a body over here. Let me go over to this body. And I went over to this other body and started getting attacked by some machine. I don't even know. Is it a friendly machine that's fighting me? Is it just an alien machine? I don't even know what the fuck it is. It just says question marks as its name. So I run away from it. I don't think I have really anything bad to say about it, to tell you the truth. I think maybe a few things could be improved. I think the combat's a little loose. I think playing on a PC is definitely the way to go. From complete, I'm pretty sure. Because the PC version runs pretty damn fine. It looks a little better than the PS4 counterpart. Certainly runs better. I don't know. I think it felt smooth. So I'm pretty sure the console must be locked at 30 frames. And this was at 60. And it was fine. I think that might be the only negative I could say. It doesn't look super amazing. There are better looking games out there. But as a realized world, it really feels like you're just on the space station. And so you got like surround sound going on. It's great. It is great. I can't wait to dig more into this. I'm probably going to do like another, unless I beat it, I'll do another preview next week to talk more of hopefully like 25 hours in, because I want to really dig into it. Maybe it'll be done in 25 hours. Hopefully not, because this is incredible. I'm loving basically every second of it. This is exactly what I've wanted from a game like this. This is the kind of rummaging of Fallout with the confidence of narrative that you get from other games, mixed with BioShock, like System Shock successor stuff going on, which I think the Arcane guys are. It's kind of like a lineage there. Fantastic work. Love every second of it. I anticipate when the reviews really start hitting from IGN and like GameSpot. I don't know if I'll ever be able to say the right one. I think we're going to start seeing some really high scores. I'm really hoping, because this game is incredible to me. Everything about it. This is my game. This has been my year for video games. It's insane. I blew myself up. I think I did that today too. I'm such a dumb idiot. There were two of them next to each other, so I thought one of them could have been a mimic. So I attacked it with my wrench. Not smart. Don't do that. Not a good idea. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, people are not ready for this game. I think a lot of people are kind of like, oh, Prey, whatever. This is the next BioShock. This is the game at the end of the year. People are like, did you play Prey? Holy shit. As good as Zelda is, as good as Neo, as much as I love like Resident Evil 7 or Nier, which I'm going to talk about next, this is my game of the year. Like, this is the best game I played this year, by far, bar none. Even the 6 hours I played, which doesn't include the 7 hours of the demo, but the 6 hours includes 3 hours of stuff I've already done in the demo. Still loved it. Still different that second time. It is so much fun. This is the best exploration, weird space, sci-fi, finding little puzzle pieces, figuring out your own way to get there. Do I climb over here? Do I watch that thing? What if I trigger this machine? If I turn off the power here? What if I can force the door? Like, awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. This is good shit. Don't sleep on Prey. Don't do it. Be back next week with more Prey. Every week's going to be Prey. I just decided. It's my show. Every week is going to be Prey week until further notice. You've been warned. I mean, I'd apologize if I cared, but I'm not going to apologize for that. Why are you here? Anyone who's watching, just go play Prey instead. Don't be dumb. Do it.